will make a difference. We are the ones who will change the world. We are the ones, we are. We are the ones, we are. I've been feeling like I can't make a difference, feeling like there ain't no use, feeling tired and a little unconscious, coming up with every kind of excuse till I realize it's not all up to me. When we join together, we shape our destiny to see the world where we are living as one. It can be, it shall be, it will be done. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones who will make a difference. We are the ones who will change the world. We are the ones, we are. We are the ones, we are. I am the one that we've been waiting for. I am the one who will make a difference. I am the one who will change the world. I am the one, I am. I am the one, I am. We are the ones, we are. We are the ones, we are. We are the ones, we are. And we are the ones, we are.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Rev Gy, minister at the Unitarian Universalist Community Church on Shaver Road, and I'm delighted that you chose to spend this time with us on this glorious morning. I think fall is here, we can all agree. And as far as I'm concerned, it came way too fast and way too abruptly. But I'm never ready to let go of summer anyway. So welcome again to our Sunday service, which is online now for I don't know exactly how long. We shall see. And until then, this is how we meet. And this is how we build community. This is how we maintain community. This is how we love on each other, how we support each other, how we are with each other. Welcome to our church. Church with no dogma. We have some principles that we adhere to, that we found to be true, and we are definitely willing to change our minds in the presence of new information, which is a thing I really like about Unitarian Universalism, that we are willing to change our minds, that we are not dogmatic, that we embrace diversity, for we understand that that is the name of the game. That's what life is. Life is diverse. Diverse in its appearance, diverse in its beingness. It's diverse. So here we embrace diversity. One thing though that we do, all of us, Unitarian Universalists, in the morning before our services, or before we even meet any time during the week, we light the chalice. The chalice, which is the symbol of our faith. Somebody's mic is on in the room. Would you be willing to turn it off? We light the chalice, which is the symbol of our faith. It symbolizes the truth that we all seek. So will you please join with me as we light the chalice? And if you can, say the words with me. If you cannot, just enjoy them. in the light of truth and the warmth of love. We gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And now please join us for a short time in meditation. And although at the beginning of this meditation I will ask you to close your eyes, please don't. Now I invite you to find a comfortable position in your seat. Uncross your legs, uncross your arms. If it is comfortable for you, sit with your back erect. Do not use the back of the chair for the support. Close your eyes if it is yours to do. And take a deep breath. And as you exhale, just relax. And as you're breathing in and breathing out, just imagine that you are floating on water. You are surrounded by beautiful, beautiful crystal clear water. The temperature is just right for your body. The sun is shining down upon you. There is a blissfulness that is filling you up from the inside. You are floating, completely relaxed, allowing the little waves to carry you gently, softly. Your eyes closed, the sun is touching your face, and all you can do is smile. How wonderful that at any moment in time you can break away from the busyness of life. Focus on your breathing. Relax and imagine that you are surrounded by sunshine. You're floating gently on water, and you're allowing peacefulness to take over. And so it is. Well, welcome back. And in case you are joining us only now, I am Rev Gy, minister of the Unitarian Universalist Community Church on Shaver Road. Obviously, our physical building is on Shaver Road, and welcome to the Church of the Holy Basement now. It used to be the living room, and now I moved down to the basement. And I have a little bit more privacy from my dogs, who usually like to sit with me, and then when they so feel, start moving and barking, and I'd rather not have them here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And today is a special service that we celebrate at our church. And in fact, all Unitarian Universalists will have uh, such a service called the Water Communion. And it's a different service today now, isn't it? Those of you, of course, who have celebrated this with us in years prior are quite aware how different this service is, because usually, of course, we are together. And we invite you always to bring a little bit of water, because the idea is that throughout the summer, you have traveled um, long and far, or maybe not so far, but you have come in contact with water, and maybe that has some kind of significance for you. And then we invite you to bring water from there. And we have a bowl set up in the middle of the sanctuary and the mic. And then you come, you pour your water into the bowl, and then you share why this experience was significant to you. Or perhaps you were inspired or touched in some way, and that's why you would like to share this experience with us. Some may just bring water from the tap. Most of us do, because we forget to get the water from that special place. But you will just bring up water from your tap, because think about this for a second. Humans have been around for about 100,000 years or so. And of that 100,000 years or so, you could only turn on your tap and drink safely. Well, unless you live in Flint, drink safely from your tap for about 50, 60 years. There are still parts of the world where this is not at all a given. So it is quite inspiring that we have created this possibility. So it's no small thing to turn on your tap and be able to get clean, safe drinking water. So we come, and usually my talk on these Sundays is rather short, because it is you guys who provide the bulk of the service. You guys share this experience. And if I would give a 15, 20-minute talk, and then you would also contribute, we'd be in church probably for 2-3 hours. And like the Pentecostals, but Unitarian Universalists are not used to that. So anyway, it's different now, isn't it? So instead of coming together, contributing our little bit of water to the big bowl of water, here we are sitting isolated in our homes. And why are we sitting isolated in our homes? Well, obviously, because there is a pandemic. Why is there a pandemic? There is a pandemic because we have created a world where pandemics are possible. And according to scientists, they will be more frequent from here on, unless we change. And we'd have to change things absolutely drastically. So today, I was going to talk about unity, about how we are more alike than we are different. Because, 70% of our body is water, 70% of the earth is water. So I was going to create a talk on that. And of course, I didn't. And I will not talk about that too much. Instead, I will focus on diversity. So back to the beginnings. Humanity has been around for about 100,000 years. And we evolved in that time, and we learned much. We developed language. We developed the ability to make up stories. And I think that is a huge contribution to the world as it is today, because we imagined a possibility. We have the ability to imagine a possibility that does not exist in reality, and then shape the reality to manifest that imagined possibility. And this is specific to humans. As far as we know, the animals around us cannot do that, do not do that. We do that. And that's how in this short period of time. And it's a short period of time. If you think about it, 100,000 years, well, that's very long. If you live 80, 90 years, 60 years, 100,000 years is very long. But our planet has been around for about 4.5 billion years. So 100,000 years, that's like nothing, right? And in that very short time, because of our ability to imagine, we imagined this civilization into existence. And that's remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And this imagination of ours, while it's amazing, it's not without fault. It's not without the inbuilt possibility for mistakes. So there came the Industrial Revolution, and that left a huge mark, not just on our lives, but on the entire planet. So with the Industrial Revolution, much has changed. And it wasn't just the industries that revolutionized or they appeared and flourished. We revolutionized agriculture as well. So we did namely three major things to agriculture. First of all, we introduced the possibilities of machinery. And with these machines, we were able to work more land than ever before. One tractor can work the land so much more than one human being with a shovel, right? Or an axe. Or so the Industrial Revolution allowed us the possibility to cultivate large swaths of land. And then we decided to focus on output. So we wanted the output, the harvest, to be huge. And there lies the other thing. We created tremendous amounts of food, but we did not create a way to distribute it to all of humanity. So large amounts of food go to waste every day, while there are large number of people who go without food. So with the machinery, we were able to cultivate larger and larger swaths of land, produce more and more food. So we created the monoculture. We just decided that this farmer is going to grow only corn on his or her huge swaths of land. That one is going to create just bananas. That one is going to grow only cabbage. But not just any cabbage. We're going to grow the cabbage that has the most output, produces the most output. Not any corn, but this particular corn, which we have modified, so it produces a lot. The output is huge. Not any kind of banana, but just that kind of banana. Not any kind of apple, but those 3-4 types of apples. So with that, diversity took a hit. Because, believe it or not, there's different kinds of cabbages. There's different kinds of bananas, there used to be so many different kinds of apples and corn. But we narrowed it down to the ones that we like the output of. So diversity took a hit. Then the other problem that occurred with monoculture, that when plants grow together, many different plants grow together, they produce defense for one another. Well, like if this plant grows close to that plant, it fends off insects that like to eat this plant. So it provides vitality and a possibility for life for this plant. Well, that diversity took a hit when we decided to create these monocultures. So what did we have to do? We had to introduce pesticides to kill the insects that were attacking these monoculturally produced plants. Well, with that, of course, the diversity of insects took a hit. Then the birds took a hit because they didn't have insects to feed on. The pesticides washed into the earth, and they did two things. A, they polluted our waters, rivers, oceans, lakes, everything. And they weakened the soil. The soil became toxic too. Also, when you don't have the diversity of plants, the soil type breaks down, because it turns out you need to have a lot of different plants growing together to feed the soil. You see, our earth is covered with a thin layer of soil, and we depend on that. That's where our food grows for everybody. That's what feeds our food. And by creating these monocultures, we broke down the soil. So then we had to introduce fertilizers, these man-made fertilizers to enrich the soil, which introduced further problems. You see how, meaning well, I have no doubt that we meant well, because we focused on the output. We created an ecosystem that is not hospitable to life. It's certainly not hospitable to the diversity of life. So today we're dealing with the fact that species are disappearing, one after the other. Large and small insects, from insects to large animals, species are disappearing because we've made life inhospitable for them. So here we are, sitting in our living rooms, kitchen tables, in our homes, going to church, waiting for the moment where we can hit again the start button. When will life go back to normal? Can hardly wait to hit the start button. And may I suggest that instead of the start button, we find a different one, the reset button. Because there are ways to overcome the problems that we have created. And truth is, do we really want to go back to normal, what we have known to be normal for a long time? I would imagine that we really want to hit the reset button even on the fact that we're producing so much food, and yet there's large numbers of the population of this earth who go hungry, who actually die of hunger. Do we want to hit the start button, go back to normal? Or would we rather hit a reset button where we, with the power of our imagination, create a different reality, one in which food is distributed to everyone? Then there is a possibility to change these monocultures. And in fact, there are farmers who have started doing this. And this is what they learned, that you cannot focus on output. You cannot focus on harvest, on fruit. What you really have to focus on is the quality of your dirt. So you have to make sure that your dirt is well nourished, healthy, because if that is so, then the output will be guaranteed. So it is really the culture that they are focusing on, not the output, that is guaranteed, but the culture, the dirt, the quality of the dirt that they are planting their seeds in. And they are understanding that when they are planting, they are not planting monocultures anymore. In fact, they are understanding how certain plants introduce nitrogen into the dirt, which is very important for growth, and other substances that are necessary for the health of the dirt. So they are going away from the monoculture and introducing diversity into their farmland. Also understanding that they have to rotate crops. One year you grow beans, next year you grow corn, and I don't know exactly how the rotation goes, but they do. They're learning, and this is very important. So it is the culture that they are changing. Now, our kids are home from school. And those of you who have children home from school because they are going to school online, by golly, the pause button has been hit hard on school. And I have compassion for you. There are reports people have newfound respect for teachers, of course. The pause has been hit on school with the advent of the industrialization. We didn't just create a monoculture in agriculture, but we made the same mistake in our school system. We started focusing again on output. So we forced our kids to undergo tests, and it's like everybody had to go through the same system the same way and had to, or has to, didn't just have to, they have to take these tests and perform, and performance is judged based on the outcome of these tests. And human beings are like plants. We are part of this ecosystem. We're not apart from it. We belong to this ecosystem. Without this ecosystem, we don't exist. You know, we talk about going to Mars, but hey, come on. This is the ecosystem in which we exist. So human beings are just like plants, or just like animals. There are certain cultures in which we flourish, and there are certain conditions in which we languish. So focusing again on the culture that we create in schools, I think it's so important to reintroduce diversity into the schools, because we all learn differently. Also, our interests are very different. Some of us are artistically inclined, otherwise are logically inclined. The diversity is almost endless, even in all of us. Yet we've created a culture that aims to produce certain types of people. So we hit the pause on our school system. And I know that there's so many parents at home and even kids who want to return to school, who want to hit the start button. And perhaps we should think about finding the reset button. How do we, with the power of this amazing imagination of ours, envision a culture that supports a system, again, where we don't focus on the output. We make sure that we focus on the individual. We make sure that we create a culture that supports life, where life is, where we can flourish, our children can flourish, and that there is diversity there. And it's diversity that is embraced as opposed to discouraged, sometimes shamed, but definitely discouraged, unwanted. How do we do that? And you know, just think about this, that today, well, not if you're in the US, you can't really travel internationally anymore, but travel has become possible and very short because of the airplanes. So we have, through the power of our incredible imagination, created airplanes. And in the 1700s, in the 1800s, that was not a possibility. Now, it's not to say that people didn't contemplate it. They contemplated it for a long, long time. We know that Michelangelo tried also thought of all kinds of devices to create possibilities for flying for human beings. So humans have wanted to fly for a long time, and eventually they figured out how to. Okay, so perhaps suggesting that we find the reset button and create a culture in which the diversity of our children, of our humanity, can flourish. It might seem as distant and as impossible as flying was back in the days. So it behooves us to come together and contemplate the conditions of a diverse culture in which our children, our offsprings, can flourish, where they can develop their strengths, grow in their strengths, where they can expand their consciousness in the best way possible. And then someday we will actually be able to create those conditions. Without contemplating them, it will never come to be. It will never come to pass. So we must contemplate. And we have an opportunity because the pause button has been hit on life. And if nothing else, we have become very aware of the systems we've created that don't work. So out of that awareness, let's not let a wonderful insight go to waste. Instead, put our heads together to create a possibility for a healthy life. And life that doesn't just include the health of humanity, but of the entire planet. And I think here's another mistake that we're making. It occurred to me last night. I'm not saying that it's a genius insight, but we keep talking about global warming, climate change, that we need to work to save our planet. And then I thought, wait a minute. The planet has been around for 4.5 billion years. We have been around for about 100,000 years. I suspect that if we disappear, the planet will be just fine. So I don't think it is so much the planet we have to save as we have to save humanity. And you cannot save humanity without saving the planet. And I have found that we humans tend to selfishness. So if we talk about saving the planet, perhaps we won't show that much interest. We may not have that much investment because it's the planet. But it's not the planet. It is us. So if we are selfish, and if we want to save our own existence, then we must make choices that will save the planet. Because it is the culture we have to change. We have to return to diversity, to a health of life, to a careful living, a considered way of living, where we don't just consider ourselves, but we consider our surroundings, that we consider the very ground of our being. Because if the very ground of our being is taken care of, the output is guaranteed. If the very ground of our being is disregarded, shamed, abused, then the output is also endangered. So I say we focus from root to fruit. I say we return to diversity. And then in that diversity, in celebrating, in feeding, in encouraging that diversity, then we find that all of life lives in maximum unity. So I did bring you back to unity in the end. But I believe for our unity, diversity is quintessential. So here's to beautiful you. Beautiful, beautiful you. Perfect you. As you are, true to yourself, true to the ground of your beingness. May life be possible for you to unfold. May life make it possible for you to flourish in your uniqueness, in your strength, in your maximum beauty. And may we create those conditions for all life forms on our planet. And so it is. Today is Generosity Sunday. So that means that here in our community, we raise funds for a cause that we stand by, that we believe in. And today, we are going to raise funds for Isaac, which is a wonderful creation of our amazing imagination that works for social justice, equality. And Dr. Charlet is leading this wonderful organization, and she has a few words for us. Please listen.
I am so very excited and happy to join you all virtually this Sunday morning. My name is Charlotte Davis, and I am the Executive Director of Isaac. Isaac stands for Interfaith Strategy for Advocacy and Action in the Community. Isaac is a faith-based organizing network made up of 30 member congregations and organizations and a plethora of partners. Right now, Isaac and we are working tirelessly to build the beloved community that Dr. King spoke of, a place where all individuals are held as beloved, and also a place where policies and practices are infused with love, with abundance, and also with equity. There are many things that I could share about Isaac, but I just want to share two special things right now. The first one is that we focused on root change and practice and policy change. And this is so very important because we want our work to touch generations to come. The second thing is that we stay at the table during a time when we as a nation are so divided. We understand that staying at the table is powerful. And honestly, we don't always agree on everything. However, we agree that we need one another, and we focus on the common good of equity, and we focus on the work that we can do together. Right now, we have 4 main priorities: gun violence prevention, housing, anti-racism, and group violence intervention. So right now, I want to invite you to 2 events that will be coming up soon. Usually we would have a walk, run, roll. But of course, due to the pandemic, that is not a safe thing for us to do. So instead, we will be hosting for a month long, from August 15th through September 15th, the virtual journey to DC for racial justice. We are asking all of you to please participate as a household and to be safe in doing so, wearing masks and also social distancing when needed. We ask that you move, whether that's walking, whether that's rolling, whether that's running, whether that's swimming, for racial justice. However you want to, whenever you want to, wherever you want to. We ask that after you move, and you can move as many times as you want over this month, that you get into our new event website and log your results, whether that's by distance or by miles, or by the time that you spent doing your movement. We also ask that you upload photos of you and your household moving for racial justice. And for those who are ready, and many of you are, we ask that you upload a video. And when you upload that video, you talk about why you are moving for racial justice. And for those who are there, take it a little deeper. What are you committing to do around racial justice over the next year? We also will have opportunities to deepen our commitments locally around racial justice. I want to say also that I'm so excited because clergy and leaders will be offering our daily inspirations. So before you move as a household, you can watch the daily inspiration. I also would encourage you to plug into Isaac. I know we are in the center of very troubling times, but we don't and we can't close our eyes. We can't just hope and wait for things to get better. We pray and then we move, putting our faith into action. We hold strong to our faith and we must hold strong to one another. So you all, family, are already engaged in this faith and action. And so I want to say thank you so very much for your hard work. We need you in this work. And also I look forward to seeing you soon in our Isaac virtual events. Feel free to visit our website at isaackalamazoo.org for more information, or feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Our email address is isaackalamazoo@gmail.com. Blessings and love from myself, from Elder King, and from the Isaac family. Blessings.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor nor port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun my sail and moon my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way through the lights of the heavens and our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue
Thank you, Nick. There it is, the earth, our blue boat home. Thank you for joining us. We are going to extinguish the chalice. We always do that at the end of every service, every time that we come together. And we remind each other that though we extinguish this flame, we keep in our hearts that which inspires us, that which invites us and urges us from within to stay close to truth, to our seeking nature. So will you please say the words with me? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Be you. Contribute your uniqueness to the entirety of our existence. And that should do. Thank you. And so it is.